Welcome back. We have Geonette today from Bella Bridesmaids Sacramento. They are offering swoon-worthy styles you can see and try on in real life, and they're located in the heart of Sacramento. So thanks for being with us today.
Thank you. Thank you guys so much for having me today. I'm so happy that we were able to kind of get this together and work this out. I'm so grateful. Desiree, Lisa, you guys are amazing for having me here today. I'm very excited.
Thanks. So tell us a little bit more about Bella Bridesmaids.
Yeah, so Bella Bridesmaids is a really awesome kind of assistance to the wedding planning. I like to look at us as like the concierge or like the wedding planner of the dresses. So what we are a boutique here in Midtown Sacramento, and we offer bridesmaids, mother of the bride, mother of the groom, or mother of the occasion, like we call it, flower girl, wedding guest. We can go on and on with so many different dresses and opportunities for everyone. So we have that, and we do have 60 other locations across the nation. So even though we do operate as a small business, we do have other Bella Bridesmaids locations across the nation. So if you have like a bridesmaid in like Texas or Nashville or New York, they can still be a part of the process, try on the same, if not like similar dresses, get professional measurements, and really just have the whole experience, even if they're not like locally with the group. So we do like to kind of be there from like end to end and take that responsibility away from the bride.
That's so awesome. So speaking of bridesmaids, let's talk about the current trends that are going on with 2024 bridesmaids.
Yeah, so many new things coming in, and we're so excited. So a lot of bridesmaids transitions have been like very different. What we were used to was like one dress is like the ruler of them all, and now it's not like that anymore. As you can see, black and white is trending again, embellishments, florals, all of that is trending. But now our bride wants to see everyone, if not like in a shade of the color that they're working with. Let's say if we're doing like greens.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll do like sage and olive and hunter green. And the bride will just say, hey, Desiree, like this is the color I want you in. Just find any dress that kind of works for you.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of helps, like everyone's body is a little bit different. Not every dress complements every body type. So this gives everybody the ability to still kind of be within the look of the bridesmaids, but also just have something that kind of speaks more to like their own personality.
That's awesome. So, we've been seeing a lot of like the pastel rainbows and, like you said, the hues of green. Um, when you're doing that mix and match style, what tips could you give to like the bridal parties to really help with that? Like to really hone in so it doesn't look all over the board. So there is a cohesive look.
Yeah, absolutely. Like this is one of our favorite little tasks or little projects that we like to work on. When we have a bride that comes in and says, hey, like I want shades of pink. So what I always tell everyone, it's either you're going to do different styles in the same color, or we're going to be intentional with it, but different shades. So we can do like, if we have a bridal party of 6, we can do like 2 light shades, 2 like hot pink shades, and then 2 like different shades of that. So we'll do 2, 2, 2.
Mm.
So even though there are variations, it's still pretty intentional. It doesn't look like hodgepodgey, like they just threw a bunch of dresses together and it all still works. So we usually like to say just have like a couple at a time and then kind of mix and match from there. So that way everything looks cohesive and kind of put together. But I like to kind of just put the dresses out on the rack so the bride can see it visually as well.
So when should you actually start looking for your bridesmaids dresses?
Yes. I always say sooner is better than later. The later you wait, the less amount of styles you'll be able to see.
Mm-hmm.
So one of our like lead designers right now, she has a lead time of 6 months. So even like with the wedding dress, like that can be up to a year. Like as soon as you have your colors, start shopping as soon as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Just because if you have like a lead time crunch, you're going to start looking at rush fees and all these like unnecessary costs that you don't really need. So to have as many options as possible, you definitely want to shop, I'd say about maybe 6 to 9 months in advance, if possible.
Mm-hmm.
If not, like we can work with people and pull from in stock. It just limits the options for them.
That's awesome. So with the texture trends of having like velvet or sequins, fringe, flowers or embroidery, is there ever a point where you're like, okay, that's way too many altogether? Or how would you go about making it to where it's fitting in, but also we're not looking like
Yeah.
a disco ball? That's the look you're going for. I don't know.
Right, exactly. And that's exactly what it is. It's like, it really depends on our bride. It depends on what kind of vibe she has. It depends on what her vision is. Like, if someone comes in and is just like, I want everything to just be all out there, it's either all in or not all in at all, I guess. So it really depends on their vision. I haven't worked with anyone where it was like, okay, this is too much going on, because I feel like it is our due diligence to just say, okay, hey, like that's a little too much, but I haven't found that happening yet. And I think like when we have people come in, they really like rely on our expertise and our feedback. So we really try to like kind of push them in the right direction, but I haven't had that happen yet. But I do like to kind of use like Canva or something to just kind of like put that lineup together so we can see it visually, and then just be like, I don't think that's it, or yes, like that is the look. So I guess it depends on our bride.
So when you're preparing for your appointment, what should you do, honestly? Should your entire wedding party come for the initial appointment? Should it just be the bride? What should take place prior to the appointment?
Yeah, that's a really great question. So the first contact that we have is usually when a bride or a maid of honor or a member of the bridal party will call out, sometimes even moms who kind of take upon like this role of, okay, I'm going to take care of the dresses. They'll reach out to us and kind of inquire like, what do you guys have? What's the lead time? Like, what are the price points? Things like that. We have everything that kind of works all around. So that first point of contact helps us understand how we're going to help this party. There's 3 questions that we usually use. There's style, fabric, color, or actually 4, and price point. So they'll answer like an intake form when they book their appointment with us, because we do work on like a consultation 1-to-1 basis. They'll answer those questions, and then this will help us kind of pre-pull and have us kind of better prepare for that appointment. And when that happens, we'll call them or we'll text them, kind of create that point of contact with them. And we'll even create this thing called a virtual showroom. And the virtual showroom will house like all the dresses. They'll like invite all of their bridesmaids in there. That's their point of sale. Like, it's a one place hub to kind of get all their dresses in order. But then from there, we usually have, if it's like a big party, we usually have the bride kind of come in first, and like a maid of honor or mom, and then we'll kind of go from there. We'll set our parameters, we'll set our boundaries, because as much as we love having the big parties there, and we do have like VIP appointments, it's hard to really nail down styles when you have like 50 different opinions, especially if we have a bride who is just like, can't really like put their foot down. And I'm that same way. Like, if I had all my bridesmaids there, we'd probably end up with a whole different color that I didn't even want, you know? So I like to make that first point of contact and know like, what are our parameters? What are the styles that we're working with before the bridal party comes in? And then when they come in, we're like, okay, here are the dresses our bride picked. You guys choose from there. Here are the colors. We'll get your measurements. And then that's how we can really push the needle forward.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it can get crazy sometimes.
So on that same note, what advice do you have for, the main fiancés to, if they have that certain person in their bridal party that's pushing them towards a direction that they really don't want to go into? Like, what would your advice be for that?
Yeah, I have a perfect example for this. My best friend got married last year, and she did actually pretty much all the colors of one of the designers that we did. So she had 9 total bridesmaids. She picked the dress and the color for each bridesmaid. And pretty much like all 9 bridesmaids, we didn't have any issues. Like, she took it into thought too, like what color would look nice with them and then what kind of fits their body style. So she did her own appointment with me, and then we were able to kind of dial that in. So I would kind of take that same approach with that kind of bridesmaid. If we know that we're going to have that kind of pushy bridesmaid that is going to want to change the color or is going to want to change the fabric, we'll just assign the dress to them and still, be very considerate of what we're choosing, or we'll just kind of set like those set of styles and allow them to pick, because everyone wants options.
Absolutely.
So I think that's like a good way of approaching that.
So back to mother of the occasion attire. So I feel like there's a lot of mothers that have this idea of what they have to wear. And I think that current trends are really moving away from the traditional mother of the bride looks.
Yes.
Can you elaborate on that?
Yes, so many changes, and I get so many questions about this all the time. It's like we have our mother of the bride and we have the mother of the groom. What color do we wear? What color, should we be matching? Should we be different? So it's really, and that really goes towards what the bride wants. It's knowing our bride and what she's looking for. Because sometimes we'll have the bride and they'll say, I want both of our moms in navy. So we'll have that. Or sometimes we want our mom in champagne and we want our mother of the groom in burgundy. So like a lot of the jewel tones usually work. We have the navy, we have champagne, hunter green. Those are like the top colors. But it really just depends on our bride. I think, so many different changes on that, but whatever works with our mom. We have some people who want very simple looks because they don't want to upstage the bride. And then we'll have a bride say, I want my mom in all like embellishments and all out. So I like to kind of understand what the bride's looking for before I kind of approach that situation with the mom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What advice would you give mothers of the occasion to prep before their meeting?
Yes. So I noticed that, our moms always want to kind of like make sure everything's all dialed in. And then we forget about our moms. Then we're like 3 months before the party, we need a dress. And then now we're like limited to options. But luckily, like we've kind of combated that by like having some in-stock styles that we work with now, because some of the dresses, especially with embellishments, they are like hand sewn. So they take about 6 to 9 months to make. So having those in-stock options are super helpful, but definitely don't forget about yourself because you are the mother of the occasion as well. And I'm sure our bride definitely wants you in a really awesome dress. But there is a Facebook group that was kind of shown to me by one of our mother of the occasions. And it's a very helpful page where moms can like post the dresses that they're on the fence about. And then people will give like their honest opinion on like, hey, like, I don't think that one works. Like, you should totally go with this one. So especially if you are like a mom that has those kind of hesitancies or on the fence, like that's a really helpful one. And I'm happy to share if it comes down to it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What advice would you give the mothers for shopping for their attire?
Yeah, I think finding something that you feel comfortable and confident in. You can find a dress, but if you feel like the back is showing too much and that is like an area that you don't really want to show, or like the belly area, all of those, your arms, if you feel like that area is going to kind of give you some issues during the day, don't go with that dress. Like find the dress that kind of checks off all the boxes if possible. And really just, you won't feel confident if you don't feel comfortable in what you're wearing. You're constantly going to be thinking, oh my gosh, is this showing? Is that line showing? So really finding something that checks all the boxes of what you're looking for in a dress, and then also investing in some good shapewear. Like no matter what size people wear, shapewear is a big deal. It is going to clean up all those lines, especially in like a fabric like satin. It shows your belly button, it shows everything. So having a good shapewear is really helpful.
Would you recommend wearing your shapewear to your appointment?
Yes, 100%. If you could bring like a similar pair of heels or the shapewear that you plan on wearing, it's really helpful because I kind of look at it the same way when I like get like a whole like haul of like dresses or clothing, and if I don't have like makeup on when I try on these dresses, I feel so icky. So if you're going to do the same thing, like just feel prepared and like put together for your appointment so you can really visualize and see how you're going to feel in that dress.
Yeah, that's great advice. I think that that's the best advice probably when you are shopping for any occasion is to be ready. Like have your hair done, your makeup done, because you will feel so much better when you try on a dress. It just immediately makes you feel prettier.
Yes, exactly. It's the same way as like if you don't have your comfortable like the perfume that you like to wear, like you don't feel like 100% until you're all like put together in that sense. So yeah, I definitely agree with that.
That's awesome. I know that you guys will be in our fashion show.
Yes.
What fabulous fashions can we look forward to seeing on the runway?
Yeah, so we have expanded our Mother of the Occasion. So we are going to have some really awesome Mother of the Occasion dresses, some awesome designers that are really methodical when it comes to Mother of the Occasion. We got Terry John, we have Sachin and Bobby. We're looking on signing MacDougall. So like so many options that are in stock. So moms like to, I do notice this a lot, our moms will like to order a few dresses and return them. So they are really good with that. They're good with returns. So they're really helpful designers to work with. We'll also have some really awesome new bridesmaid styles. Spring collection has just, arrived for us. So we're going to have some really new styles that we haven't had yet. So just really having those florals and those different textures, we'll have a lot of that at the fashion show. We're really excited for that.
I love that. Will you be showing any bridal party accessories?
Oh, that's a great question. So we have recently started working with some bridal accessories. I have in our website, because as a franchise, we do have like our website and it kind of links to all of our Bellas across the nation. Some of the Bellas have opted to have the jewelry in store. We have not yet, but then there is the option to kind of see what our catalog has. Dresses, sorry, not dresses, the jewelry, and then also shoes. So the heels and the jewelry is all options that we'll have, but we won't be having that at the fashion show. Yes.
That's still a great option to have, just to have something to look at too when you're going into your show.
Yes, that was like the last conversation that we had. Every 2 years, we do this thing called Bella Bash, and all of the owners of Bella Bridesmaids will all come together with our franchise owner, Erin and Kathleen. They're amazing. And then we kind of put our heads together, and like our new goal is this really just to have all the things that put together the whole wedding party experience. So having the dresses, having the jewelry, having the accessories and the shoes, everything. Like we want to have that be like our one-stop stop for everyone so they could just check that off the list and not have to think about it anymore.
That is such a great option to have. And I know earlier you mentioned you have some VIP appointments. Can you tell me a little bit about those?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have this appointment. It's called the VIP appointment. There is a fee for this, and it is a very reasonable because you do get some really awesome perks with that. So for 2 hours, which is an extended period of time, our appointments are usually about an hour. So 2 hours, you have the whole showroom for you and your bridal party. So we can have, I'd say comfortably about 10 people in the showroom. So you can have that 2 hours. It comes with a bottle of champagne. It also comes with some snacks and some chocolate and some really fun little snacks to kind of, work away on during your appointment. And then you'll have a couple stylists that'll work with the whole party. And then you guys can just like really just try on a bunch of dresses. So this is a really good option for someone who has like bridesmaids that are, coming in for like some kind of like dinner or something together, and you guys can kind of use that time to really just look at dresses together and just try on and have girl time.
That's awesome. And I know you had mentioned that there are locations across the nation. So if your bridesmaid is not here locally, they are able to go to one of the other stores and get fitted and be able to try on the dress or a similar dress, even if they're not here with town. Right?
Yes, exactly. And that is our main goal as a franchise, is to do courtesy fittings and like really give the same experience to that one bridesmaid that might not be home. So essentially you just go on our Bella Bridesmaids website, and then you'll just look at like our store locator. If you're in New York, you just book a New York appointment, and then you just reference our bride. Then that's when the virtual showroom kind of gets tied into there as well. They'll see what dresses we've already picked out, what colors. So then the stylist that's in New York who runs that appointment will really just know exactly what's going on. There's an area for staff notes. So it's like we try to keep this as seamless as possible, so that way they don't feel like a difference in between each experience at a different store. So like if you have an appointment here in Sacramento, and then say you need like a follow-up appointment and you happen to be in town in Texas, you can go try on their same styles and then not feel like a real like transition between going to two different stores. We want to just make sure it's a nice, seamless experience all around.
Yeah, it definitely sounds very much like a VIP concierge feel. I love that. So when you start this process, how soon, I know we said as soon as possible, but really what does the timeline look like from beginning where we contact through getting our dresses, alterations? If it was an ideal world, what would that ideal timeline look like?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll have a bride kind of reach out to me and say, hey, we're looking for, let's say, shades of pink. cool, like let's schedule a time to do a virtual appointment. That one is really helpful where we'll sit on like a FaceTime call or a Google Hangout, and then we can kind of I'll share my screen and kind of just give them an idea of like what dresses that we have. They'll kind of share some inspiration photos, and then I'll kind of just think in our inventory what kind of speaks to that kind of inspiration that they send us. And then from there, if they decide that it's a good fit, that we could find something that, they're looking for, then we'll have them come in for their actual appointment. And then from there, we'll look at styles and then we'll invite the bridesmaids over. I know there's like a little, couple extra stops there, but sometimes we'll have someone just come in for a first appointment and then they can already find their dresses there. So there's a couple ways around that first little bunch of those appointments. But from there, once we have the style and everything in order, I like to set up a virtual showroom with timelines. And the really cool thing about technology is once we plug those dates in, it automatically sends those reminders to our brides and the bridesmaids. I've even seen it on the other end where they'll get text messages. So it's really helpful because with all the wedding planning, there's so much going on. And then there's so many, like the dress gets forgotten about and it becomes like that task, like I need to just get this over with. So it's really helpful that we do have that. I'll plug in the dates. I usually do it at like 4 weeks out just to make sure that we kind of just stay relevant and we just keep, on top of this. And then they just check that off. Ideally, it would be nice, like if we have our first appointment, we find the dress and they just close there. That would be really awesome because then you just check off that box and you don't have to think about it anymore. Once the dresses are put into production with our designers, they arrive, we text our bridesmaids and say, hey, like your dress is here. It's really awesome that they can come in and do a dress pickup appointment. So when their dress comes in, we'll zip it up on them, make sure everything's all good, and then we'll just check them out. We don't do the alterations here, but we do have a lot of vendors that we work with, but a hem is usually necessary, and then adjusting the straps are usually pretty necessary, and pretty much any seamstress can do that.
All right. So current trends that we're seeing, the all black. And that's used to be so taboo to wear black to a wedding unless it was an evening wedding. What can you speak on that for us?
Yeah, it's definitely one of those taboo situations. We associate black with such a negative connotation. So especially to wear it to something so just such a big chapter, it has this kind of ick thing that people feel. But I'm noticing that people are breaking those barriers and the pictures just come out amazing. So, I mean, everyone looks amazing in black. It complements all body figures, all skin tones, everything. Black just looks amazing, sophisticated, timeless. I can even say we got married in October. I told everyone to wear all black. Like my bridesmaids, my wedding guests, everyone wore black. And it just allowed people to wear their embellishments and different fringe and sequins and things like that, but all in black. And it just looks so awesome. And everyone looks so put together and it just looked so amazing. So I am seeing that. There was one Saturday where I had 3 brides. It was so crazy. This never happened before, but they were we are doing all black, all 3 of those parties. And I was I've never seen this before. But I think in all total of 2024, we've worked with at least 6 different brides who are doing all black.
I love that. And I love that so many designers are doing more black dresses for bridesmaids and bridal occasions,
Yeah, because a lot of our dresses in our store, we try to carry all the colors and just a general size, just so that way if people want to see a full length version of a sage or something like that, they'll see it. But 95% of the dresses that we do carry come in black. So when we have a bride that comes in and says, I want to do all black, they can do whatever designer, whatever. People just go all in and just start picking dresses, and it becomes such a fun experience because people could really find something that fits their personality.
Yeah, I love that. So back to taboos, I'm also seeing all white bridal parties.
Yes, I am seeing that. I did have one party come in, and in our Southern Bella Bridesmaids stores, we do have a lot of the same dress kind of rules all. And we have our big bridal parties out there. I'm talking 23 bridesmaids and everyone's wearing the same dress. Whereas here in the Bay Area and the West Coast, we seldom have that one dress for everybody. And I did have someone come in and she was like, yeah, the bride wants us to wear white. And I'm like, that's cool. But a lot of people, when you're like on Instagram scrolling and stuff and you see something like that, everyone in the comments was like, I would never do that. But again, it's like what the bride wants. And if she's happy with that, it looks just like black. It's very timeless, even though it's different. Like, it's still very beautiful. I mean, in our culture, everyone goes to weddings and we wear all white. So it's like, for us, it's like a sign of like life and like, just happiness. So I see it being like a very positive thing. And again, it's the bride and what the bride wants. So
Right. I can definitely see an all white bridal party, especially if the bride is doing color. And so many brides are doing that. So I think that's a great way to still have a tradition,
yes.
but be a little bit more modern.
Yes.
I love that.
Yes.
So we were also talking about the maid of honor.
Yeah.
So maid of honors, I think that another great thing is that I've been seeing across the board is having the maid of honor in maybe a slightly different dress or a different tone. What advice can you give to the brides that maybe want to do that, but don't necessarily know how?
Yeah. So anytime that I have that come in, or like I'll even suggest it because sometimes people don't really think about that. So, for example, I had someone say, I want to do all shades of green. And green is like such a big option that we always just suggest. But so green, and then they'll say, okay, like we like all the sage colors. And we have like this really awesome dress that has like sage, but like printed kind of floral on it. It's a really awesome way to kind of tie in something a little bit different, but to highlight our maid of honor or our matron of honor. So I'll see that where they'll have the bridal party wear like, their shades of green or their dress. And then we'll have the matron of honor maybe in the same dress, but printed, or the same dress, but different darker shade of green. So it's a really awesome way to kind of like highlight somebody, but still keep it relevant within the party.
All right. So back to those all black weddings. What should you do so it doesn't look like you are attending a funeral?
Yeah, that is, I mean, we do tie in the black with funerals, right? So like kind of using these dresses as a good example is like you got the bow detailing, and then you also have like some florals kind of added into there, so it still looks very bridal with a sense of like, I guess silhouette makes a huge difference too, like the timeless look. But I think we were just talking about like people wearing like those like bird cage netting things and like the gloves. Like there are certain accessories that you can kind of wear that might make it look like that. But I think just keeping it nice and simple and elevated is a good way of doing that. But I guess it's really hard to like kind of imagine that you're not going to a funeral. I don't really know how to say that, but yeah, I think it just depends on the dresses, just finding something simple but elegant. I don't think there's really any dresses an example that would make you look like you were going to a funeral, but yeah, that's kind of a tough question. I don't really know how to answer
And
that.
vice versa, what advice would you give for that bride that does want to do the all white, but not so bridal?
Yeah, that I saw a post online, and they had a matron of honor. She was wearing like a lot of like a lacy kind of dress, and it almost looked like she was the bride. Like the bride, if you pulled the bride out of the picture and you had the matron of honor in that dress and her bridesmaids, you would think that matron of honor was getting married. But when you put the bride back in with her big like extravagant dress, it looks like she's bride. But I think just kind of staying away from something that has like kind of those drapey arms and the big like tulle dress, which makes it very bridal. I would probably stay away from that. Like no veils. I don't think anyone's gonna wear any veils, but just keeping it simple and kind of intentional. Having like the same dress like some of our brides do is really helpful to kind of stay away from like who's our bride,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great advice. So I know that Bella Brides also will help with guest attire as well. So what advice do you give guests to, again, toe that line where they still look elegant and, took time and conscious decisions to make their outfit choices, but that they're not trying to be in the bridal party or
Yes.
upstage the bridal party.
Yeah, so there's a lot of conversation that kind of goes around like I don't want to match the bridal party. Like that wasn't a thing that I thought about until I got into this industry. Like let's say all of our bridesmaids are doing dusty blue, and then a wedding guest is wearing like a blue floral, and then they could easily kind of fit into the bridal party. I don't think that a lot of people really worry about that too much as some people make a big deal out of it. So I don't think they really like announce like when you send those wedding invitations out, you don't usually say, "Hey, the bridal party's wearing green, don't wear green." So it's really hard to kind of understand that part. So I would probably tell people like don't think about that too much, but really just staying with like the safe floral prints are really nice. And also thinking about what time of the year it is. Like if it's a June wedding, you really wouldn't want to wear like velvet. There is a way of wearing velvet if it's like a midi dress. So it depends on the kind of dress that you're wearing, but just something that's appropriate, it's very simple is very easy, and black is an easy go-to for the dresses.
All right. So Geonette and Bella Bridesmaids will be at the Wedding Showcase show on Sunday, February 25th, 2024 at Cal Expo. And they will be raffling off a Mother of the Occasion dress. You want to tell us a little bit more about that giveaway?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're so excited to be here. We will have a booth there. We're going to have our swatches, all of our dresses, and more importantly, we are going to have a raffle. And with the raffle, we are going to offer a dress. If it's in stock, it would be really awesome. So we'll have you, we'll get your information. We'll do the raffle same day. But if you do happen to leave that day, we'll contact you and let you know you've won. And then we'll facilitate an appointment with you to come in and take your measurements. And then from there, we'll kind of decide on a dress together. If we can get it in stock, that would be awesome. But if it is made to order, we would just want to make sure it's in time for the wedding that we're going to. But there are certain restrictions that do apply. But I mean, there's going to be endless options with the value that we're going to be doing it for.
Yeah, absolutely. So be sure to stop by Bella Bridesmaid and get in on that Mother of the Occasion raffle.
I'm really happy that we were able to bring some styles here for you guys to see. One that I wanted to highlight is for the bridal party that's looking for something that is budget friendly. Satin is such a huge style that is really trending, especially here in the West Coast area. And we sell so much of it, but satin can go in all variations of different price points, anywhere from $100 up to even $300-$400 for a dress. So in order to kind of like hit that checkbox to kind of be more budget friendly, I did want to show this beauty off. She is a really awesome one that kind of works with everyone's body styles. The back of this dress has adjustable straps, so it's really helpful for people to not have to worry about those alterations. And this dress is only $139. So that is really awesome to kind of get the same look that you're looking for, but not have to kind of break the bank doing so. And then if we look in the back, you guys can see like the straps are adjustable. And then also there's like a cinching or like a waist area that has like a band that's adjustable there. That is super helpful because alterations are a huge cost, and this will kind of help alleviate that. Having this kind of dress, you have so many different options with different colors. So essentially, if you were to come in, we would just take your measurements and then we'll look at all the swatches together and then find the color that you would like to order in this style. Just wanted to bring this beauty over. This is a color that gets picked very often, so I'm really happy that we have it sampled in this auburn moon kind of like rust terracotta color. Everyone really, really loves this kind of very saturated orange. This dress can be used for multiple purposes. If you are a wedding guest or if you are a bride that wants to see your bridesmaids in something very simple, this is a great option. The dress is a midi style, which is another thing. When these dresses do come in, they are cut to a standard length. So the dresses do need to be altered, and that is a cost. So to kind of help and alleviate some of those little nuance payments and all those things, you would, getting a midi style is super helpful because you won't have to worry about that. The back is adjustable, so, adjusting the straps aren't needed. So this dress is very minimal in terms of alterations. Awesome. So this dress here is actually by Jenny Yu. This is a really great example of some really fun florals to incorporate into your wedding party. So we have seen a wedding party in all of the variations of the styles. I think there's about like 5 or 6 styles, I could be wrong, that come in this dress with the same kind of pattern, but then also a different cut for a different neckline. So if you want to see something strapless like this one, there's also some with like a plunging neck. There's a couple different styles that this dress comes in. So I have seen a bridal party have all of those different styles that kind of work for the bridesmaids, and then all of the same fabric and same pattern. This is also a really a fun option to put for our bride, our matron of honor. If you want to put like a print or a floral on your matron or maid of honor, this is a really great option as well. There are a few other colors and underlays that this floral pattern comes in as well. So that is something that we would all go over under your during your appointment to kind of just see. So I'm so happy that timing kind of worked out because I literally just picked this up at FedEx today. This is a very, very, very new style that was released by Jenny Yu. I don't believe that this style is accessible to everyone online. I think it might just be a Bella Bridesmaids exclusive. So I'll double check on that. So we do have some partnerships with some designers where we have exclusive styles only for Bella Bridesmaids, and I believe this is one of those. This is the Belen, and it is in a floral print. This is a very new floral print that was not available last season. So this is starting spring of 2024. It is a off the shoulder kind of style, but looks like you can kind of wear it as like a flutter sleeve as well. It's really awesome because there's some boning inside, so it really gives some structure to the dress, but it also has a very flowy skirt. These floral styles, like the previous one as well, are really awesome for our mother of the occasion as well. When we have some bridal parties that get married in, have like a tropical or kind of a beach wedding, they're perfect dresses to kind of utilize for those occasions. So I really wanted to kind of touch about these two dresses that we have here. On the left, we have the one with the bow it's a modern dress. So it has the bow and it has the pearl detailing, which is super in right now. Bows are just all in for 2024, whether it's on the shoulder or on the back or on some part of the dress. Bows are like super in. So the timeless kind of look for this dress and that fabric is really awesome. And it is by Sachin and Bobby, who does really awesome mother of the occasion and also wedding guest and elevated event wear. And on the other side of that dress, we have a Scott McClintock dress. I actually picked this up and it was like a thrifted dress from an antique store. And back in the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s, Jessica McClintock was like really big in the bridesmaid world. So I think it was really awesome to kind of show and pay homage to the dress of what used to be before and how it could still be very relevant today and have it next to a very modern dress.
So that was a wrap up of our wedding 101 with Bella Brides, and Geonette was such a joy. I really enjoyed her topic. She's very, very knowledgeable in every area. But we also want to thank our sponsors. We want to thank Style Real Weddings Magazine as our media sponsor. And we also want to thank Retreat Salon and Spa. They are our grand prize sponsor. And if you go to our website, you can see all of the lovely items that they are raffling off in the grand prize. So again, very thankful to our sponsors. If we didn't have our sponsors, we couldn't do as much as we want to do with what we do. And so Desiree is going to go ahead and talk about our VIP tickets.
Yeah. So again, I just want to thank our sponsor, Retreat Salon and Spa, and they will be the sponsor for our grand prize, which is over $1,300 in salon treatments and goodies. So head on over to our website and register your wedding on weddingshowcase.org. And then we also have a great giveaway coming up. We are going to be giving away a 4-pack of VIP tickets. And again, with that VIP ticket packet, you do get 4 tickets with early entrance to the show. So you get a half hour early. You get to come in and see all the exhibitors at 10:30 when general public comes in at 11. You also have access to the VIP lounge. You're going to be getting a VIP bag that is going to have some fantastic swag for our engaged couple. And you get exclusive offers and giveaways that only our VIP guests are going to be able to enter to win. So again, check out our Facebook and Instagram to be entered to win that 4-pack of VIP tickets. Thanks again, and cheers.
Cheers.